Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Cult Movie Tuesdays right here on Night Owl Video. Today I'm talking about this one, I Spit on Your Grave. I will warn you, this movie has some not pleasant stuff in it, including sexual assault. So if you are sensitive to that, probably skip this review and maybe come back next week. I was struggling a bit to decide if I was going to actually do this or not, review this movie or not. I have seen it now 2 times in my life, and 2 times in the last 4 years. Once I watched it just because I'd heard of it so much and I was curious. And then I picked up this DVD last year and I just rewatched it a couple of weeks ago. But this is not an easy watch, and this really isn't even an easy movie to talk about, so this review could be somewhat short. But I Spit on Your Grave was originally titled Day of the Woman. This is a revenge thriller from 1978, directed by Zarchi, who was an executive producer on all of the newer remakes of I Spit on Your Grave, as well as its sequels, I should say. The newer remake and all of its sequels. This film stars Camille Keaton, who was in a bunch of movies I don't know. She apparently has an uncredited cameo in Rob Zombie's Lords of Salem. This also stars Aaron Tabor. This is his only acting credit. He did also have an uncredited cameo in the film Bullet with Steve McQueen. And then, again, their only acting credits, Richard Pace and Anthony Nichols. So, I don't know if maybe after they were done making this movie, they said to themselves, probably good, but most of the actors in this movie did not go on to do much else, as far as I can tell. The synopsis for I Spit on Your Grave is: after a young writer, Camille Keaton, is brutally raped and left for dead by 4 men, she systematically hunts them down one by one to exact revenge. I Spit on Your Grave is noted for its controversial depiction of extreme graphic violence, particularly the lengthy depictions of sexual assault that take up to 30 minutes of this movie's runtime. During its wider release, it was branded as a video nasty in the United Kingdom and was a target of censorship by film commissioning bodies. As such, film critic Roger Ebert became one of the most notable detractors of I Spit on Your Grave, calling it, quote-unquote, a vile bag of garbage, adding, quote, attending it was one of the most depressing experiences of my life, unquote. The film remains highly controversial to this day, even being considered one of the worst movies ever made. For some, it is this controversy that has led to it being deemed a cult classic. I don't know if I'd call it a cult classic. It is definitely a cult film, but in her memoir, Inside Out, Demi Moore confirmed that she is actually the scantily clad woman on the cover of this movie case. The inspiration for I Spit on Your Grave came from an encounter writer-director Zarchi had in 1974 with a young woman who was sexually assaulted and beaten by 2 men at a park in New York City. Zarchi was unable to find a distributor, so he distributed the film himself. Day of the Woman played a number of engagements in rural drive-in theaters, but only for brief runs each time, and Zarchi barely made back the money that he spent on advertising. In 1980, it was picked up for distribution by the Jerry Gross organization. A condition of its re-release was that the distributors could change the title to anything they wished. It was at this time that the film was retitled I Spit on Your Grave. The film did poorly at the box office, but managed to have some success on video cassette sales. I Spit on Your Grave reached number 24 on the Billboard's 1981's list of best-selling titles on VHS. By 1982, I Spit on Your Grave had been released on video 6 times in the United States due to its high demand. Not sure there, but in a 1984 interview with Fangoria, Zarchi said, quote, I found out that the millions of video machines in England, there's maybe one single house that has not seen I Spit on Your Grave, unquote. He claimed that by that point, 20 million people worldwide had seen I Spit on Your Grave. I Spit on Your Grave received negative reviews from the critics. It currently holds an approval rating, I was actually surprised, 51% on Rotten Tomatoes. The film caused significant controversy and backlash for its graphic violence, as I mentioned, with feminists protesting the movie and people accusing the movie of glorifying sexual assault. The Motion Picture Association of America tried to prevent the film's producers from using the R rating. After the association gave I Spit on Your Grave an R rating, the producer of the film added bad scenes to it, making it an X-rated movie. Many nations, including Ireland, Norway, Iceland, and West Germany, banned the film altogether, claiming it, quote-unquote, glorified violence against women. Here in Canada, where I'm at, Canada initially banned the film, but in the 1990s decided to allow its individual provinces to decide whether to permit its release. Since 1998, some provinces, such as Manitoba, Nova Scotia, and Quebec, have released the film with a rating that reflects its content. I actually bought this in New Brunswick, so I'm not sure if that was a slip under the radar or not, but I do live in Nova Scotia, so I guess if I wanted to find a copy somewhere, I could probably find it. The film has been released internationally in so many different cuts depending on the country's censorship laws that it would be probably hard to know which cut you had. IGN critic R.L. Schaefer arguing that whether the film is repulsive and exploitative or ingenious depends on what the reviewer wants from the movie. Quote, admittedly, I Spit on Your Grave is gruesome, deplorable, little exploitation picture that on the surface seems to enjoy its essay sequences just as much, if not more, than the vengeance-filled finale. But on a more subtle level, the film is a surprisingly well-executed revenge story that plays like a brutally raw nerve, a terrifying, stark view of the real horror of sexual assault, painted by bizarre, skewed cinematography, gory violence, and a keen sense of creeping atmosphere and dread. My thoughts on this film, I've seen it. I'm probably not going to revisit this movie. I'll probably try to sell this. You know, I was just, like I said, I was so curious about this all these years, and as a youngster, I didn't know that it was obviously like what it was. I didn't realize. I thought it was like I Spit on Your Grave sounded like a horror slasher movie. So I didn't know what this movie was about until I got much older, obviously. But I can't see myself revisiting this movie. The positives for me were the lead actress's acting was really good. Camille Keaton, I think her name is. But this is just a nasty, nasty movie, and I don't know how I would even like say. I don't think it's especially shot well. After this lady endures all this horrible stuff at the hands of these redneck kind of guys, she goes on like a revenge killing spree. Some of the kills were sort of really weird and like unbelievable. You obviously wanted the woman in the film to get her exact her revenge, but some of the things she did to kill these men were just like implausible. The SA scenes were really, really hard to watch. I mean, this is your most gruesome, violent, nasty kind of film. So I know this film has its fans for sure, and I know there's probably a lot of people out there that like this film, and I'm not going to judge you, but for me, this was kind of, well, I would say one and done, but I've seen it twice now. I did see the remake as well. The remake kind of lightens it a bit, but the revenge part of that remake is actually, I think, even more intense than this, as I recall. This is really grisly. Like, you really have to have a strong stomach for this stuff, and I don't. And I really don't have any interest in rewatching this movie. But like I said, people will probably think I don't know, a snowflake or whatever, and I don't really care. But this isn't for me. This isn't for me. But like I said, I know a lot of people think this movie's well done, and like I said, the only positive thing I could think of was the lead actress's acting. I thought she was really good in the film, but other than that, there's really nothing else here to say, oh, this was really good and you should run out and watch it. Nah, I'm good. I'm really curious to hear what people have to say about this movie. Like I said, I know it has its fan base, but I think this is for people that are really into like kind of the more extreme stuff. And I'm sure this is even mild compared to some of the other stuff that's out there that I don't know, and I'm sure I don't want to know. But I Spit on Your Grave. It's a movie. I will not probably be watching this ever again. But those are my thoughts on this film. I really can't think of anything else in this movie that I enjoyed other than the lead actress's acting. It just turns your stomach. It's just really, really bad, really awful. This is put out by Ronin Films, this DVD. I'm trying to find a year on this. I don't see a year on it, but the film came out in 1978. This is a Region 1 DVD. It goes unrated in Canada, according to this DVD. It's 101 minutes from 1978 color. The special features on here are none. There's actually no special features on this, which was also disappointing, because I think there's probably some interesting backstories that could be told about this, but this is yeah. So the tagline is, "This woman has just cut, chopped, broken, and burned 5 men beyond recognition, but no jury in America would ever convict her." So the back here says, in 1978, one film changed the face of cinema forever. Now the original and notorious I Spit on Your Grave is back, and still refusing to be buried, unfortunately. Re-experience the phenomenon, no thank you, that shocked and divided the world and influenced an entire genre of generation of filmmakers. So it says Camille Keaton was also in What Have You Done to Solange, as well as Tragic Ceremony. So apparently this inspired a generation of filmmakers. Clearly I don't know anything about that. I'm probably happy I don't. But yeah, I mean, this was definitely like a divisive movie. And like I said, a lot of people didn't like it. This is truly your cult, underground, grindhouse exploitation film. This is like, I don't know, beyond like Cannibal Holocaust or things like that. This is in that kind of area for me, and just definitely not my jam. But I'm open-minded, you know, and I am open-minded enough to like watch it and then revisit it for this review. And but yeah, again, not for me. Those are my thoughts on this film. What did you think of I Spit on Your Grave? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you like the remake? I don't know. I don't know what else to say about this one. This one really disturbed me. And I like some weird, disturbing stuff, but this one... but yeah, let me know your thoughts on this film in the comments below. Here's a look at the inside of the DVD, which is just Demi Moore's butt. Like I said, you can currently watch this on Tubi for free. Of course, Tubi, always a good place to find hard to find titles. And you can also rent this on YouTube, Google Play, and Apple TV. But like I said, it is free on Tubi, so if you want to check it out, you can do so over there. But I would really recommend, if you're sensitive to this kind of thing, this probably isn't going to be for you. This is for your hardcore, like, exploitation kind of fans. And like I said, I'm not judging, but not for me. But I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on this film, I Spit on Your Grave. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Leave your comments below. Let me know. Yeah, that's it for today. Thank you to everybody who's recently subscribed or given me the thumbs up or commented. I've got lots of amazing feedback from you out there, so I appreciate that. And that's it for me for today. Until next time, I will see you at the video store or at the thrift store or just out and about somewhere. But until next time, take good care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video.